This is the story of a fighter who rose from nothing to greatness. He is the first UFC fighter to be champion in both divisions and one of only 9 in UFC history to achieve titles in 2 weight classes. In kickboxing, he was a former glory middleweight and light heavyweight champion, holding titles in both at the same time, a feat unmatched by any other fighter. Of course, we're talking about none other than Alex Pereira, an alcoholic brat-turned-a legendary mixed martial artist, a true fighter who rose to success from the ashes. A couple of years ago, Pereira used to hold the #1 spot in the kickboxing middleweight and light heavyweight rankings. As of November 14th, 2023, he is ranked 5th in the UFC men's pound-for-pound rankings. Ever since Alex Pereira stepped into the UFC scene in 2021, his story has been like it was meant to be, a real champ tale full of grit. Coming from a kickboxing background, not so many saw it coming, how fast he'd climbed the ranks and become a serious challenger for the middleweight title, going up against the one and only Israel Adesanya. Those who had their doubts got a big shh when Alex Pereira pulled off an amazing first-round knockout against Sean Strickland at UFC 276, showing that there's a new powerhouse in the division. But the story of Alex Pereira goes beyond his recent wins in mixed martial arts. It's a tale of climbing up and conquering challenges against all odds. Alex Pereira came into the world in 1987, right in the heart of Sao Paulo, Brazil. His early years played out in the tough setting of the slums, specifically in São Bernardo do Campo, an area known for its serious poverty. Pereira's heritage can be traced back to indigenous roots, standing out from the more common European influences in Brazil. When he was just 12, Pereira said goodbye to traditional schooling and was forced to work in a tire shop to make ends meet. Back then, his dreams were all about getting a car or a motorcycle, a far cry from envisioning the grand path of becoming a professional fighter. Pereira faced tough times, but he found strength in difficult situations. When he was a teenager, he struggled with drinking a lot and became addicted to alcohol. Everything changed in 2009 when he decided to stop being controlled by addiction. He started doing kickboxing to shift his attention, and at 22 years old, Pereira, also known as Poatan or Stone Hand because of his strong punches, found a new purpose that didn't harm his health. Overcoming alcoholism wasn't a quick win for Pereira. It was more like a slow and steady transformation. Even in his early days of his kickboxing journey, he struggled with his addictive behaviors. It wasn't until he realized his untapped potential as a fighter that he truly broke free, paving the path for genuine greatness in the ring. After that crucial turning point, Pereira turned into an unstoppable fighting force, his skills evolving into something extraordinary. In just 5 years of kickboxing, he grabbed the glory middleweight gold, coming away victorious in the promotion's 2014 tournament and making a lasting mark on the scene. Even a setback in a different tournament later that year didn't shake him. In 2017, Pereira gained momentum, achieving a 2-0 record against his future rival Israel Adesanya before grabbing the glory middleweight championship, a title he impressively defended 5 times. Taking off on a journey that would define his legacy, he fearlessly stepped up to the light heavyweight division, showcasing pound-for-pound excellence. In a matter of months, he claimed interim divisional gold and then reached the top, securing the undisputed championship. At this point, he stood at the peak of his kickboxing career, a versatile striker renowned for wielding one of the most formidable left hooks in the game. His achievements extended beyond an impressive kickboxing record. He made history as the first fighter to wield 2 belts at the time. No one before him had done this. Beating Israel Adesanya was another important milestone in his list of achievements, but the most meaningful accomplishments was still ahead of him. By the time he gracefully exited the sport in 2021, he had carved out a name among the pound-for-pound elite, universally acknowledged as the unrivaled superstar of both the middleweight and light heavyweight arenas. While kickboxing played a significant role in his success, it wasn't the only guiding force in his journey through combat sports. Together with his formidable rival Israel Adesanya, he entered the world of MMA, challenging himself in the cage and refining the various skills needed for a versatile and well-rounded game. When he started his MMA journey at the age of 28, Pereira was well aware of the substantial challenges that awaited him as he went into a new unknown. His debut fight proved to be a tough test, revealing weaknesses in his skills that led to a 3rd-round submission. Despite this setback, he refused to throw in the towel. In 2016, he made a strong comeback with 2 impressive knockout victories in Sao Paulo, Brazil, bringing his MMA record to 2-1. Over the next 3.5 years, kickboxing remained the focus, molding turning him into a completely evolved fighter. His victorious comeback to LFA in late 2020 highlighted his transformation, climaxing in a first-round knockout that grabbed the attention of Dana White and the UFC. Meanwhile, his longtime rival Israel Adesanya had forged an unbeatable legacy in MMA, reigning as the UFC middleweight champion with an untarnished record in the division. In the world of mixed martial arts, there's a moment when a fighter goes beyond expectations, showing that age is merely a number and skill has no bounds. When the UFC decided to give a shot to the 34-year-old kickboxer, it looked like a move meant to pave the way for a showdown with a lost-style bender. However, Pereira's initial 2 UFC fights were nothing less than spectacular, unveiling a fighter who was deeply dedicated to his craft. He made a striking entrance in his debut, knocking out Andreas Michailidis with a powerful flying knee in the second round. His next fight against Bruno Silva not only displayed skill, but also a real eagerness to get better. Recognizing his potential, the UFC decided to increase the challenge, matching Pereira against a top 5 middleweight contender. Dana White and his team needed to act quickly if they aimed to set up a rematch between Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya. They selected Sean Strickland as the third challenge, a strong opponent. This decision was daring, representing a notable increase in competition that was expected to reveal more about Pereira's fighting style. In a surprising twist, Strickland chose to go head-to-head with a seasoned striker, a decision he quickly came to regret. Pereira, with his remarkable skill in reading rhythms, connected with a devastating left hand, promptly ending the fight. It was another knockout for the highlight reel, solidifying Pereira's dominance in striking among middleweights. The UFC's risk was proving fruitful, and a fresh contender had surfaced in the 185-pound division. Pereira, now a top 10 middleweight, had firmly established his position by defeating a well-known name. While some may contend that Strickland was a stylistic fit, the undeniable truth is that Pereira exhibited his skills on a pay-per-view main card, astonishing the world with a triumph over a top-tier opponent. In a nutshell, in July 2022, Pereira shifted his bout with Sean Strickland from UFC 277 to UFC 276, clinching a first-round knockout win and bagging both the Performance of the Night and Crypto.com Fan Bonus Awards. As fate would have it, Israel Adesanya was the headline act on the same card, effortlessly overcoming Jared Cannonier. This set the stage for a perfect opportunity for a new challenge, paving the way for the UFC 281 main event. The rivalry between Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira unfolded across 3 significant bouts, spanning several years. Adesanya was the anticipated favorite, but Pereira's resilience and victories against formidable opponents gave him a mental edge. Both fighters were renowned for their striking prowess, creating a level playing field in what promised to be an evenly matched contest. The main event of UFC 281 was expected to be very exciting, with Adesanya not holding back. People were curious to see if Adesanya would win back his championship title or if Pereira would continue his winning streak against Adesanya. The event built up the excitement, and fans were eager for the next part of the UFC story. On November 12th, 2022, he finally defeated Israel Adesanya for the UFC 281 middleweight championship with a 5th-round technical knockout, earning another Performance of the Night award. However, in a rematch on April 8th, 2023, Pereira lost the title to Adesanya via a 2nd-round knockout. Switching things up to the light heavyweight division, on April 13th, 2023, Pereira faced off against Jan Blachowicz on July 29th, 2023, and snagged a win with a split decision. His next big test was against Izzy Prochazka for the vacant UFC Light Heavyweight Championship on November 11th, 2023, where he grabbed the title with a 2nd-round TKO. This made him the 9th UFC fighter to be a champ in 2 weight classes. And you know what? For all the MMA fans out there, Pereira's awesome legacy in the sport just keeps going strong.